Hello and thanks for joining us with Haske News. The surge in fruit prices during the Ramadan fast left many devotees dismayed. However, now that the fasting period has ended, the situation may have changed. According to some market observers, the high demand during Ramadan was a significant factor contributing to the price hike. Our correspondent Christiana Baboy reports.
Of fruits like watermelon, oranges, pineapples, apples, and others have decreased significantly compared to the prices during the Ramadan fast, according to some sellers. Some of them attributed the previous price hike to the high demand during the Ramadan period, while others disagree with this assessment. They claim that the increased demand for fruits, particularly those with high water content like watermelon, led to shortages and higher prices.
Wallahi farashin kayan da yake a watan Ramadan sai yake haka yake har yanzu. Asali ma za mu iya cewa yanzu farashin ya fi cikin Ramadan. Don dalili ko shine cikin Ramadan din kayan ya wadata sosai. Yanzu kuma kayan ya dan fara karanci. Kayan ya dan fara karanci don da kayan da kake saya naira biyar yanzu kaje za ka samu sa naira bakwai. So kaga dole kayan bayan Ramadan din kayan ya fi cikin Ramadan tsada.
Watan Ramadan hakika mun shiga cikin kangi na tsadar rayuwa. Kuma kayayyakin din yadda muke sayansa ba kamar yanzu ba. A yanzu kan mun samu sauki fiye da da. An samu ragowar raran kuɗi wanda ya kai kamar kusan 500 a kowane kayayyaki da namu.
On the other hand, some sellers dispute this claim, citing other factors that may have contributed to the price increase, to include the short lifespan of some fruits like banana and watermelon. They suggest that supply chain disruptions, transportation costs, and other market dynamics may have played a role in the price hike.
So gaskiya kaya ya ƙara haurawa ne ba wai sauƙi yayi ba, ƙara haurawa yayi. Kuma sannan yanayin samu da ake yi samu ba wani samu bane. Sakamakon kayan yayi tsada. Sannan kuma in ka sai apple shi ma in ka siya yanda ka siye shi ba magana rage ko da ya ɓaci ma a haka in ka zo ka yi asara dole kawai zubarwa za ka yi wannan abun ya zama asara a wurinka.
The trend is expected to continue with fruit sellers anticipating a stable supply of fruits. This stability is likely to benefit both consumers and sellers as it will encourage more people to purchase fruits and support local businesses. Christiana Babayo, Haske News.
An Islamic cleric, Hajia Fatima Joro Hamza Mafindi, popularly known as Malama Sebo, has charged women faithful to sustain the spirit of the month of Ramadan in Shawwal and beyond. Hajia Sebo stated this in an after-Salah tafsir for women at the premises of Noble Path Academy, Jalingo, Tribal State, Northeast Nigeria. Haske TV correspondent was there and tells us more. Who admonished the Ummah to sustain the spirit of the holy month of Ramadan in their dealings. She said although the reward derivable from the month of Ramadan is abundant, Muslims will still gain if they keep on the good deeds and stay away from wrongdoings. While quoting some verses of the glorious Quran in her tafsir, she underscored the need for Muslims to be steadfast in worshipping the Almighty Allah and seeking for forgiveness in this month of Shawwal. She urged the women in Islam to focus on the remembrance of the Creator rather than worldly materials.
Kin ga dai ba wanda bata tashi ba har Ramadana ya kare ko to ai kin san yanzu da aka kwana bakwai din na wata wannan ji bata tashi ba ko so daya saboda ba Ramadana bane kin ga tayi amma kada a ce wai kwata an bari daga Ramadana ya kare shikenan kai ta baccin ka har gari ya waye a don Allah mu san sami canji ba zai yiwu dai kamar na Ramadana nan ba kowa ya sani kowa ya tabbata tashin ki da kika yi da na Ramadana da yanda zaki yanzu har a ce har Ramadana ba zai yiwu ba to amma ayi kokari ko.
Observing sixth fast known as Sitcha Shawwal in this month avails the Muslims of the opportunity to get rewarded equivalent to a year-long worshipping. Standing in the night for prayers is another act that guarantees unquantifiable reward for the faithful.
Ahmadullah mu gode wa Allah wa nashkuruhu mu sake gode masa wa nas'aluhu thibati ala zalika hatta mata sannan mu roki Allah ya tabbatar da mu cikin abinda muka tsaya cikin Ramadana muna yi mu roki Allah ya tabbatar mana har wannan wata har wani wata har ila yawmil qiyamati duka mu roki muna roƙon Allah kuma ya tabbatar mana aikin da mu cikin Ramadana ubangiji Allah ya karba kuma ya ci gaba da karban ayyukan da zamu yi yanzu ya tabbata mana mu tsaya muna yin sallolin yadda ya kamata sannan mu nemi
She said the need for the Ummah to seek for knowledge of Islam is important because it is the only way to know and worship the Almighty. Hajia Sebo prayed to Allah for acceptance of all acts of worship done during the month of Ramadan. Ahmed Abubakar, Haske Tv. The Agricultural Extension Society of Nigeria is organizing its 13th annual conference scheduled to take place from April 6 to 10th at Taraba State University in Jalingo, Taraba State, Northeast Nigeria. According to a statement from the university's Public Relations Department, this year's conference theme is Agricultural Extension Policy, Practices, and National Food Security. The statement encourages members of the general public to attend as various issues related to agricultural sector will be discussed. Nigerian government has proposed the extension of the National Youth Service Corps NYC scheme from 1 year to 2 years, stressing that it will deepen skills acquisition and boost youth employment. This was stated during a costly visit by the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, on the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Olatunji Alausa in Abuja. Haske Tv correspondent Sanusi Abubakar reports.
The extension proposal will expand NYSC Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development (SAIT) program to train core members with practical skills for job creation and national development. Dr. Alausa commended the NYSC for proactive, digitalized approach to the mobilization process, which according to him goes a long way in addressing certificate racketeering involving some foreign trained graduates within West Africa. The minister praised the team for resolving the long-standing issue, ordinary national diploma (OND) part-time graduates who obtain full-time higher national diploma (HND) qualifications but were previously exempted from national service. He stated that the ministry and the NYSC will continue to strengthen ties to improve education sector and support national development. Dr. Alausa advocated for the deployment of more graduate teachers to rural schools, as that will fill the existing manpower gap in the sector. The DG NYSC, Brigadier General Nafiu, reiterated NYSC's commitment to work tirelessly to achieve national policies and reforms of the present administration. On his part, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Ebel Olumuyiwa, reaffirmed Ministry's commitment to collaborate with the NYSC. Farida Sanusi Abubakar, Haske News.
As part of moves to entrench accountability and good governance in Nigeria's tertiary education system, the federal government has directed all vice-chancellors, rectors, and provosts of federal institutions to publish key institutional data on their official websites with immediate effect. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, gave the directive in a memo addressed to public higher institutions in the country. Christiana Babe reports.
Hausa said the directive was to ensure that Nigeria's higher education management aligns with global best practices. The memo obtained by Punch on Saturday also said each institution must provide its annual budgetary allocation in full details, including the breakdown of expenditure across three core areas: personnel costs, overhead costs, and capital expenditure. The memo added that the institutions are to present their current total student population, which must be categorized into undergraduate and postgraduate levels, thereby providing a clear picture of enrollment and institutional capacity. It also stressed that all federal institutions are expected to comply fully with this directive and ensure that their websites are completely updated no later than May 31st, 2025. To ensure adherence, the Federal Ministry of Education will conduct periodic reviews of institutional websites and take appropriate administrative actions against non-compliant institutions. Christiana Bavayo, Haske News.
The Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa said he would suspend all tariffs on goods imported from the United States days after U.S. President Donald Trump levied 18% tariffs against the Southern African nation. The mineral-rich country's main trading partners are the United Arab Emirates, South Africa and China, and its limited exports to the U.S. comprise only tobacco and sugar. Farida Sanusi Abubakar tells us more.
The president said he will direct the Zimbabwean government to implement a suspension of all tariffs levy on goods originating from the United States. He also said this announcement was intended to facilitate the expansion of American imports within the Zimbabwean markets while simultaneously promoting the growth of Zimbabwean exports destined for the United States. The total goods trade between the two countries amounted to $111.6 million in 2024, according to U.S. government data. The relationship between Zimbabwe and the U.S. has been marked by decades-long pressure campaigns against former ruler Robert Mugabe since the early 2000s. Harare has regularly blamed U.S. sanctions for the disastrous economic crisis that has reflected the country for more than 2 decades and have moved away from the West, strengthening economic ties with the UAE and China. Farida Sanusi Abubakar.
Well, with this, we have come to the end of the news. Do join us tomorrow for another fresh package of the bulletin. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening.